Hello there, and welcome to another Starfield ship review video. In today's video we're going to be looking at the Rambler, or in my case the Rambler 2. So the number after the name just denotes the tier system. The higher the number, the better the tier. Currently there's 3 tiers for most ships, although some ships don't have a tier, and then some ships go up to 4. But with regards to it, regardless of the tier, the ships will always stay the same aesthetically. There's just, depending on the tier, the module performance will change. So for instance, this tier 2 Rambler has an A-class reactor with 20 power, whereas a tier 1 Rambler, the reactor may only be 15, whereas if you find a tier 3 version, it may be 25. That's usually how it goes. Aesthetically, the ships will stay exactly the same. Anyway, let's get into the review properly. So just looking at it, it's mainly a Tayo vessel when it comes to... Actually, no, it's not mainly a Tayo. It's got a lot of Tayo, and by a lot of, those 2 front pieces are Tayo, but I believe that's a Shroud Eklund habitat. It's quite an interesting looking ship. It's quite small, but it has a nice profile to it. It's got those Deimos lifting engines, which are pretty cool. Anyway, so stats, it's got a fuel of 50, which is extremely low. You want to have at least 200 fuel, or else you're going to be spending a lot of time hopping. And some people probably don't. Well, early game, it's probably not a problem, you know, because you can explore more. But later on in the game, when you just want to quickly jump back to somewhere, you're going to want more fuel. It's got a hull of 502, which is pretty low when it comes to hull. Now, obviously, it's hard to increase the hull on these lower level ships because there's not a lot of components to them. But it's not bad. Cargo capacity of 260, which currently that is coming from just the cockpit, I believe. Although there might be a cargo. I don't think there's a cargo there. Yeah, it's just the cockpit. It's got an A-class reactor with 20 power, which is kind of on the lower end. But looking at its current configuration, that's not too bad. It's got a crew of 2, which is kind of low in my opinion for a ship of like... I like to have more crew the better, but you know, your mileage may vary. It's got a jump range of 30 light years, which is absolutely phenomenal. This thing can jump very far. Now, with the current fuel tank, you make little hops, but you know. It's got a shield of 455, which again, it's not bad. The highest shield you can get for this class is, I believe it's around like 900. And then for weaponry, it's got particles and missiles. It's got 2 particles mounted there on the Horizon weapons mount, and then it's got the missile pod on the top. This ship is costing me 68,120. Now this will vary depending on your perks and the tier of the ship. If it's a tier 1, it'll be cheaper, and obviously I have perks that decrease the cost of everything, so it could be a little bit more expensive. So I found this vessel. Oh, that was loud. I need to turn down my headphones. I found this vessel here at New Atlantis. It's a kind of a generic starter ship. So you can kind of find it anywhere. You should know where New Atlantis is, but just in case. So here it is, we're in New Atlantis. And Jameson, Alpha Centauri. And then you could potentially find it in Cydonia on Mars, or any of the ship vendors, really. I've seen it a couple of places. It seems like it's meant to be like an upgrade from like the Frontier, you know, when you're like trying to basically, you know, move on. So it's there, yeah. It looks really, really cool. It has like a realistic design to me, and this is gonna sound a bit weird, but because in our current reality, like in our current timing, it's not hard to take off a vessel from orbit, you know, put it in orbit, but coming back safely, re-entry heat is a problem. And the fact that this ship is kind of designed in a way where it's quite long and it has a kind of a belly to it means that it could potentially re-enter on its belly and burn off some of that heat. It kind of is a bit similar to, was it Starship 1? I think SpaceX were working on, where it comes back in its belly. Yeah, it's quite a cool design. Obviously, they probably didn't intend for that, but that's what it looks like to me. It has that kind of the curved belly, and then it has those lifting thrusters, the landing gear, so you could kind of slow yourself too. Anyway, let's enter.
Painful.
No, I'm fine. Didn't break a leg this time. Here's the shield there. And we've got those. I really like them Deimos lifters. We got a Hope Tech landing gear here as well, which is always nice to see. and then enter through the back in a dim. Oh, you want to watch your head here, okay? So, entry through the Deimos cargo bay. I feel like you got to be careful. I mean, it's a good kind of safety mechanism. If your ship is closed and someone's trying to break in, just fire the landing thrusters, and you'll sort of singe them. Anyway, up we go. There's not much to this ship. There's a version of this ship called the Vagabond that's like an upgraded version, and I did a review on it, and they're kind of the same interior. So we have an all-in-one. No, we have a living quarters. We have a toilet there that, for some reason, Sam just. Oh no! Here comes Cora. Cora, please don't talk to him, please, please. Yeah, you just go over there. Toilet here. We got the docking port above, which
A brief history of time. If you find any addition, any at all, I will be your friend like forever.
Okay, Cora. Yeah. Anyway, so it's cool that we have the entryway and the docking port in the same area. It's just kind of easier to, transfer between. Got some board games here, just, generic stuff. This, I believe this is, like I said, I think it's a Shroud Eklund. It's quite nice. It's not as homely as the Nova Galactic entryways. Also, these galleys work. In some of my reviews, I didn't know it works. You kind of have to click in weird spots. Like, I would assume you click here and it works, but no, you have to aim for it. Yeah. And then we have back here we have the cargo bay, or the cockpit. I've said this many times. I quite like the aesthetic of Tayo is really cool. It's very sleek and luxurious. It kind of reminds me of Saudkruger from Elite Dangerous, if any of you guys ever played that game. They make kind of like cruise liner ships. This does look like a kind of a ship where like it's meant to be like a space limo, just from the looks. Like, these seats here kind of reinforce the fact that, you're maneuvering some very well-to-do people. Like, look at that. Is that like, that's like creamed bleached leather? Oh, very nice. But the only thing about this that I don't like is, like I said, it feels like you're kind of shuttling people around, which, I'm the captain. I'm not the Uber driver. But yeah, like, I kind of wish, like, these seats were back a little further, because where they are currently, when you try fly, your crew have direct line of sight to you and each other, so they'll talk your ear off. But it'd be cool if they had some, even some, like, couches here, like some kind of, like, corner couches there and there. I know it's not very safe, but, like, do you think Tayo care about safety? Ryujin are questionable individuals. Anyway, we're going to take her up into space, see how she performs, and then afterwards we will do a teardown. Like that, just kind of straight in. Yeah, it's quite an interesting ship. Let's take her off, see how the power performs. Okay, yeah, we have enough currently. So I have a perk that increases my power by 5, so I won't be using that 5 power, but it looks like we won't have to worry about that. Although this current configuration is very bare bones. The only thing that's kind of amazing is the jump drive. So yeah, so we have like 4 extra pips to play around with. Weapon-wise, we have those particle weapons on the left, the port side, which is a really, really good weapon. And we've got the missiles or LT, sorry. And then we've got missiles on the top. Do a quick speed test. I'm expecting 150. Yeah, 150. It's expected. It's an A-class. We get a boost speed of... Wait one moment, please. I need to make sure that I don't have anybody messing with me. No, I don't. Boost speed of 700. I want to just double check. That's really fast. I haven't seen a ship hit that fast. Which is really, really good. I mean, it's a light ship, so it kind of makes sense. Let's try that again. We're at max speed, and we boost. Yeah, 730. This thing hauls. Goddamn. Okay. Quick agility test. Let it slow down a little bit. So pitch. Oh, that's not extremely fast. No, that's like probably like a 6. Let's do a yaw. Yaw seems a little bit faster, probably like a 6.5, 7. And then the roll. Roll's not too bad. Alright, so we're gonna head back down to the planet now and do a teardown just so you can see how it's built. Alright, so here we are. So we've toured into 3 parts. The only habitat-ish, well, I say habitat module, but I don't think you're living in this one. You got the extender Port 200 Docker from Tayo. Weaponry, we have an Infiltrator SC-01 missile launcher from Horizon Defense. It's an A-class, 4500 range, 1 fire rate, 42 hull damage, 43.04 shield damage, and requires 3 power. And that is mounted on one of these equipment plates from Tayo. I love them. They're phenomenal. This piece, if I could build a ship out of just with this, like one piece, it'd be this piece. It's just such a cool piece. And then we have the abysmal fuel tank, the M10 Ulysses HE350. I've said it in other videos, I could probably carry more fuel in my bladder. I would recommend, we want to hit for at least 200. Now this bad boy here, it's just about, probably like 2/3 heavier, so 29 instead of 12, but it gives over 4 times the fuel, so I would definitely recommend that one there. It requires Starship Design 2, but Starship Design 2 isn't that hard to get, but then, let me see, we'll do, if we had to go the route, let me see. You could go with some of these, actually maybe not, they're not going to mount on the front. Do we have any other tanks here? You could potentially use 2 of these here. These don't require any upgrades. These are 100 each, and you could slot them in there like so. I'll probably actually do that at the end, once we do like an upgrade section. And then in the middle of the ship, we have the Diomo Enhanced Cockpit from Tayo, 260 cargo, 2 crew stations, which is really nice. We have a Shroud all... Oh, it was an all-in-one berth, damn it. I thought I was so right that time. Shroud all-in-one berth, 2x1A. Gives 2 passenger slots. A Tayo would probably fit better, but if it was up to me, upgrading, I'd kind of go about it 2 ways. So I'd either... Let me grab this. I'd either replace it for a control station to give you more hull, or more... Not hull, sorry. To give you more crew. It would bump your crew up to 3 by only 3. Might be to do with the clasp. Okay, well, if that's the case, if it only bumps up the crew by 1, I'd probably swap it out for a workshop, just so you have easy access to like all of your stuff. Because it's nice to be able to build stuff while you're, going about it. And then we have the R300 Alpha Grav Drive from Relodyne, A-Class, 9 power, 23 grav jump thrust, which in the current config gives us 30 light years, which is absolutely phenomenal. Behind that, we have the Tokamak X150 reactor from Jiang, A-Class, 20 power. Now there's better reactors, obviously. If you've watched my previous videos, you'll know I'm going to recommend this one. This one here is the best A-Class reactor in the game. Spheromac DC-202. It gives 33 power, so an extra 13 power, but this requires Starship Design 4. And it also requires you to be quite a high rank, I believe it's 50. So, like, an alternative, potentially, so we'd have to get something that can snap to both sides. See, it's going to be hard, because maybe... See, I don't know the rank requirement to, like, unlock these reactors, because I got a comment before about someone saying how they'd like if I recommended, like, lower tier stuff for, if you're not level 50 like me, or level 50 plus. And I would assume this is quite lower, just because it only requires Starship 2. This would be, like, a decent upgrade if you're kind of going for it. But if you are max level, just slap one of these bad boys in it. Right here, it gets the job done. We might have to rebuild it slightly, though, to make it fit. But at the end of the video, we'll kind of go over that. For the engine, we have the Amandun 7 engine from Amandun, A-Class, 2 max power, 15,400 engine thrust, 2,200 maneuvering thrust. It's not a bad engine. Now, there's better engines. Again, depends on your rank, but for a ship like this, I would probably recommend one of these bad boys. So this, if we were to add this, this basically allows us to go to 180 movement speed, which is really, really nice. And then we'll just put back the other one for now. And then we have a pair of these 220 CB landing gear from Deimos. And then for the aesthetic pieces, we have two of these Nova cowlings. We've 1L starboard front, 1L port front, 1L port aft, and 1L starboard aft. And then on the bottom, we have the Pinpoint 4G landing gear, which has, on the right side, has a Horizon weapon mount with two PBO-30 auto electron beams, A-class, 3600 range, 6.65 fire rate, 9 hull and shield damage, and requires 3 power. And then on the opposite side, we have the Bastille S82 shield generator from Nautilus, A-class, max power of 5, and gives 455 shield. And then behind that, we have the 120 LD landing bay from Deimos. And then we have this Hope 5 landing gear from Hope Tech. And then we have this Tayo braking engine here. So now we're going to put it back together, and I'm going to recommend some upgrades. So one of the first things I'm going to do is we're going to remove this fuel tank, and we're going to replace it. So we're going to go into the fuel tanks, and we're going to go with two of these ones here. And we're going to snap these like so, right there and there. Perfect. Now that's increased our fuel a little bit. And then what's the warnings? What we're going to do next is, like I was saying, I'd upgrade the engine a little bit. We need the better reactor as well, so we're going to have to... so we need that better reactor. Now the engine... Oh, very nice. The landing gear still fits. Haha. Perfect. And then I'm going to go with a better engine. See, there's two ways you can go about this. So you could obviously go with the, whoops, we'll do that. So if we go, you could obviously go with the 3015 here if you want that max speed. Gives us 76 mobility, which is nice, very nice indeed. Or you could potentially, we'll try something in a minute. We're just going to configure some other stuff first. And then for the shield, here's our little shield here. We're going to swap this bad boy out. We're going to get a... So I believe, where is it? We're going to find it because one of these is out there. That's a pretty decent shield there. You could just slap it back in the way it is. I probably wouldn't do that. What I want to do is I want to put one on top. So if we get, let me see. Okay, it seems like this one here, the 60S, which is perfectly good shield generator. We're going to put this back here like so. Perfect. And then what's the error? Ship is unattached modules. What's unattached? Am I blind? What is unattached? You're attached, right? Oh, okay. The landing gear is not attached. Okay. Alright, well, we're going to have to sort that, so give me one moment. What I'm going to do is there a snap right on the back of this? Yes, there is. Perfect. So we're going to snap this back here, like so. Snap this in its place. Perfect. And now no error. Perfect. Now you've probably seen there that that wanted to snap down there. What's the error now? What module is unattached? Oh, okay, yeah, I know what's unattached. It's gonna be this, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do, just give me a second, there's going to be a quick pause here while I figure it out. Okay, so we're back. So I had to fiddle with it a little bit more. So we had to replace, so let me just show you what I did real quick. So basically what we did is we had to replace, because see, this is the issue with Bethesda. They're bugs. So you notice how there's a snap point facing towards the ship, but and one on each side, but it doesn't have a snap point facing back. Which, with our current landing gear, if we go back, let me show you exactly what it looked like. Come on, come on. There's the landing gear. I was initially, so yeah, so this landing gear here is not currently attached to anything because there's no like actual snap point underneath, which is kind of annoying. So we're going to remove the landing gear. We're going to remove these here like so. Put the shield generator there. And then we're going to get some of these Ares, the Panoptes DT6 engines. So we're going to slap 2 of these here, 1 each side. You still have 100 mobility, which is nice, and you've got a speed of 150. Now that has kind of dealt with some of our problems. Now the only real thing we need now is storage. So watch. I'm trying to think how I would go about storage just to make it play a bit nicer. So what we could do, see, we don't want to put too much storage because now that it's missing a landing gear, she's not going to want to fly very fast. So what's her current cargo? Will she fly? Yeah, she will fly. Perfect. Right, now the weaponry is kind of like good the way it is, personally. You could, so there's 2 ways I would do this. Now the first way, these weapons are phenomenal, right? So if you're looking for like god tier weapons, these bad boys here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically just place another one of these here, one of these Horizon weapon mounts. And we're gonna mount 2, so all together, come on. It's gonna be a bit finicky, but it will play, but Bethesda, you sneaky buggers. If I try and replicate that without doing the merge glitch, it won't work. Bethesda. So what you do to this is you just press Y. So when you place the bottom one, press duplicate, and there you go. So yeah, it's kind of funny how Bethesda had to basically do that. So now this is like combat configuration. This is pretty like, yeah, very little is going to trouble you with those weaponry. Now, obviously, if you're going for like a more kind of hauler-centric, what you could do potentially, let me see here. We could remove these. These are... What's the error? Let me see here. Just see which looks nicer. That actually looks better. We're gonna flip these around here. And you're gonna have to replace these in a minute, just because Bethesda are difficult. So we're gonna put these to the front because I think they look kind of nicer. And the back, it makes more sense having these cargo at the back because, you know, easier access. And then to put the weaponry back, you're just gonna press the Y button again. Oh, whoops. Just gonna duplicate and then press A. And then we're gonna duplicate and press A. Now, what's the warning? Yeah, missing a weapon. Now, the only real thing left, so this gives you 750 cargo, which is pretty decent. And we've got more than enough power. Now, we're going to try and see if we can get a better grav drive. So we're going to... Just looking, there's a 23. This is the R400 one. Perfect. For this one, it's a straight upgrade, just to confirm. It's a straight upgrade from this one. So this requires you to have Starship Design 2. And I believe it requires you to be maybe level 30, but you want the best of the best, like so. And then I believe that's pretty much it. Now, if you want to add another weapon, you have this handy-dandy weapon mount on the top here. So we could potentially, you could go with the missiles. Or if you wanna, you feel a little. Oh no, we can't. I was gonna say put a turret, but you can't put a turret. So we could put some of the missiles back like so, and just maybe not that color because I feel like it messes with the aesthetic. There we go. These look good. So we could put some nice little white missiles to match it. And then just while I'm here, I'm just going to go back into the cargo just to see if there's anything that would match it. Now this is going to be way too heavy. I know that, but I just want to see. Yeah, no, way too heavy. It's instantly like, no. What they gave 245 versus 225. Yeah, they actually look better. What's the size difference? Yeah, they're lighter too. Nice. So I'd probably go with oh, maybe the 4. Does the 4 look nicer? Okay, so we go with the 4 here. Now, obviously, your grav drive drops just a tiny bit. If you care, like, if you want the extra 30, you can go with these, 2 of these. But I think the 4 looks slightly better just because it. Actually, maybe not. What is it? 300 versus? Nah, we'll go with 2, just because I don't like that it's blocking that intake. Some of you guys might not care, but. Yeah, we'll go with 2. That way we can keep the mobility high and we get the 30 jump range. Yeah, that's how I'd configure it. So let me guys know in the comments, have you guys flown one of these, or have you flown there's the Vagabond, the unique version. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this sort of content, and also check out some of my other reviews. Bye bye.